Hello guys, my name is Anna and I'm from Ukraine. I vlog daily to keep you updated on real-life situation in my country on our way to victory. And if you support Ukraine and you want to know more about our real life, our culture and history, please subscribe and share the videos that you consider important and informative. Thank you so much. Today I want to speak about one beautiful and really smart special military operation conducted by Ukrainian army, in the result of which Russia lost 2 of its generals. Well, I know that according to news, only one general died after the explosion of org office in Berdyansk, but the other one lost his position because of comments. So let me start from the very beginning. Berdyansk is a very beautiful city that one day will return back to Ukraine. It is a regional center on the shores of the Sea of Azov, and for ages we have known it as a resort. And the very first association that a person had with Berdyansk was like summer, sea, fruit, fish. The city was founded back in Cossack times, but recently I spoke about Berdyansk in a very sad context, because this is a city where Russian occupants executed 2 Ukrainian teenagers. And I will link this video for those of you who missed this information, because I believe people have to know about such heroes and about such crimes of Russian orcs, because there is no other name for them, and actually orc is a kind form of address. So Berdyansk is occupied since the 27th of February, very soon after the beginning of brutal Russian invasion. It was occupied by people did not want to cooperate, and it was really difficult for Russian army to find those who can run this local authority organizations and so on. And for example, to find a mayor, they spent months. They wanted to choose someone who previously worked in the city council, and they only managed to find one drinking cleaner. So now he is the mayor of Berdyansk, and he actually reported about the events that took place at night and on the 12th of July. With the help of possibly, and now some Russian trolls, they say that I'm reading, or someone or 2 instructors are standing in front of me like pointing guns. So if you don't believe this, please subscribe and like the video. So I was looking for a name of the missile, Storm Shadow, because I remember in Ukrainian and sometimes I forget that in English, or I may simply forget something that I want to mention. So I do have papers like that, but you know, they are handwritten by me. So this Storm Shadow possibly destroyed the hotel known as Duna. Once again, there are lots of hotels in Berdyansk because it was a beautiful resort, and this hotel was used as a base by administration and Russian military command. And as news report, and I want to ask sensitive people not to listen to that, orcs actually spent a night cleaning the building and taking away the corpses of Russian military because of serious destructions and devastations caused by this missile hit. And in the result of this strike, one Russian general, and I also have his name written on a paper, and his name is Tsokov, he died. This is a very toxic general who had lots of negative comments about Ukraine, and like he was literally killing Ukrainians in hundreds, and finally he found rest in Berdyansk. But how is it connected to another Russian general, Ivan Popov? Ivan Popov was very active, and he started commenting losses of Russian army, lack of supply, and finally ill planning in the result of which General Tsokov died. And he was fired, and possibly he will be further persecuted as the enemy of Shoigu. Because once again, you remember that in Russia you don't ask questions, you do not command, and of course you never doubt. You cannot doubt that ruble is strong, you cannot doubt that military is strong, you cannot doubt that Russia is winning this war and Putin is going to be forever. So in the result, they have lost 2 generals, and taking into account lack of professionalism, the fact that lots of top Russian military generals and managers, commanders are actually dead by now, they might encounter more and more problems. A kind reminder, before the start of this war, I was a kind person. But when people come to destroy your country, to kill your children, to erase your culture, you kind of have to protect yourself. So I am satisfied when I learn that more and more of those who came to destroy my country are actually destroyed themselves. And finally, good news, Putin perhaps will not visit BRICS, which is a summit, a meeting in South Africa, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa were supposed to meet, and they will, but perhaps without Putin. This was an important visit of his, especially after the decision of the International Criminal Court. They very much wanted to demonstrate that Putin is not isolated, that he's traveling the world, he's meeting with his partners, but because of really serious failures of recent times, starting from actually the order of the International Criminal Court that acknowledges that Putin is a war criminal, and finishing with the March of Prigozhin on Kremlin, and in between lots of explosions on Russian territory and partisan movement. And these months are actually very bad for Russia and Putin, which is good for us. So it's very likely that he will not visit the summit, and I'm sorry to those who waited for him. I know that I have lots of beautiful subscribers from South Africa who hate Putin and support Ukrainian fight against totalitarianism, authoritarianism, and modern Russian Nazism. And I'm very grateful for that. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your cheers and advice. Thank you for buying me coffees and becoming my patrons. I value that greatly. Introduce yourself to our merch, because you remember that we have decided that every 100th customer will receive an interesting book on history of Ukraine from me and directly shipped from Ukraine. So check, and these t-shirts, these caps, they work well as conversation starters, and Ukraine still needs to win this war, and we desperately need the support and attention of the world. Honestly, I'm very much afraid of fatigue, but I believe that if I am not tired and I don't have this option to be tired or to be fatigued, I hope that those who care about humanity in general will not be tired too. And also let me know, what do you think about a live stream this Saturday at 9 p.m. Kyiv time? Would you like to have a chat? Because I believe there are lots of things we can talk about. Once again, thank you for your support, and Slava Ukraini!